What's up, Doc?
Eric Bauza here. You're watching Toon'd with Jim Cummings.
Yeah, that's all, folks.
Hey, everybody, Jim Cummings here, and if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks, everybody, for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show. Welcome back to Tuned In with Jim Cummings. I'm Jim Cummings, and he's Eric Bauza.
Oh, my gosh.
Producer Chris, don't worry, he's right here. But wait, there's more. Where is our friend from down under, Brendan? There he is. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We are back in the saddle. I'm so glad you can make it. Busy guy, folks.
Oh, boy. Not as busy as you.
Well, I don't know.
You are busy in the booth, and now we were just talking before this about the con culture, Comic-Con culture, and New York Comic-Con, all the different cons. You've been to them all.
Been to a few of them, yeah.
And it's just...
It's a lot of fun.
It feels like... many years ago there was like a rise and sort of like a fall and dip, but it hasn't gone anywhere, and it's like seeing your old friends now. I'm assuming that you see a lot of the regulars now.
Yeah, I like going to them because you can see people. You can see your old buddies that you used to record with because we never seem to be in the booth at the same time.
This is actually, I'm actually keyed in. This is special effects.
This is cool.
This is the most elaborate Zoom background that I have in my on my desktop. Jim's not here. I'm AI. I'm from Canada. Canadian AI.
AI. I get it.
Yeah.
That's comedic humor.
Yeah.
Where in Canada are you from?
I'm from Toronto.
Yeah.
But more specifically, I said I feel like I'm in Wayne's World, sitting on this couch with you. Mike Myers is from Scarborough, as is I think John Candy was raised there. Jim Carrey. My other favorite Canadian comedian, Drake, the rapper, who's from there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a lot of...
I'm Canadian as well, but from the other side.
Vancouver.
Very,
very cool.
The Reynolds side.
Yes. I'm a UFO, according to Vancouver folks, unwanted from Ontario. That's is what they call it.
Oh, that's a charming...
There's a rivalry.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably winning. You're doing fine. They must hate you on the other side.
Well, look, you have some Canadians here in our office mates. Tara Strong, Maurice LaMarche, David Kay, another implant from Vancouver. So many others.
So true. Yeah. Well, it's come down here to get warm.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how shovels work anymore. I don't know unless I joined the circus for elephant.
Yeah,
shit.
then you would. Yeah. Yes, well, I see you. Yeah, I see your TikToks and that with that cute little guy of yours.
Oh,
Man, he's growing like crazy.
That's my son, Riker. He's 8 years old now, and in about a year, we're going to be able to share clothes. That's how big he's getting, or how small I am shrinking.
Oh, yeah, one or the other. You'll meet in the middle.
I seem to find a pothole to stand in anytime I'm standing next to someone tall. I think most voice actors are our size. We like to call it fun size.
Close to the mic.
Yeah. But
why do you think that is? Because I've noticed that as well.
I don't know. I think it's we make up for it our height in our voice. We have tall voices.
There you go.
Voices. That's what it is. Yes.
I like that. I'll be stealing that soon. I'll be writing that soon. It's gonna be great. So what? Can you say what you were doing this morning? Because you were busy. We know that.
Well, Doc, I was doing my morning exercise, which includes a lot of stretching and carrot eating. I made a carrot omelet, and that's it.
I bet you did.
I wasn't working. I was just pampering myself. Yeah.
That's good. Well,
and
we
then,
need that.
I hit the tanning booth to get this luxurious tan, and then I found myself here in the wilds of Burbank.
Yes,
Burbank,
very wild.
You could always drive by a building and not know what's going on in there. Like, I would never have guessed that your podcast is being filmed. There's like a mechanic shop next to us.
There's
a couple of gangsters like punching their fists in the other lot.
A gravel pit, I think, one of our star attractions on this particular street. And we're not going to tell you where it is.
Nope. It's like the Batcave.
Yes, that's true. That is true. It actually is kind of like the Batcave. Yeah, believe it or not. Look very animated in here.
Yeah,
I get it. There we
to
go.
you.
Oh my God. Oof. I love it. All right, I'll put my hat down. But yeah, man, thanks for being here.
Yes.
Thanks for being here. You know, I often thought, you know, we met years ago.
Yeah.
And it was for the world famous cat of
Oh
yours.
my gosh, I was just thinking about that.
Shall we bring him up?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, I think in this career that we have,
Yeah.
sometimes we have the luck of creating an iconic character, and most oftentimes we get asked to embody another iconic character that was created by someone else.
Yeah.
Mel Blanc, for instance.
We've done that.
We have that in common. Taz over here. I'd say one of the modern day quintessential Tazes, bar none. Probably the only Taz that's had his own series of all the other Tazes past Mel. Tasmania. But,
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
we got to work alongside the great Andrea Romano for a few seasons on The Adventures of Puss in Boots. Of course, who was originated by the great Antonio Banderas, who, again, you know, more than just an accent to me is the unpredictability of how he performs that character. It's not necessarily, okay, you have to pay attention to the origin and the ethnicity, but for me, it's more of how much fun Antonio has with playing that character. I never know where he's gonna go left or right with it, if he's gonna speak low or scream really loud. You know, like
That's right.
He goes
Yeah.
off the charts with that character, and I think that's kind of where I find, you know, if you're gonna take on a persona, you got to add that ingredient too. You have to be able to be as free with the character as the original performer. Was.
Oh, sure. I agree.
With Mel Blanc, you know,
If you can get that nasally New York bucktooth sound,
Sure,
that's
yeah.
one thing.
but to go off voice, like when he's helping Playboy Penguin try to get back to South Pole. Oh, I'm dying. You know, it's that's the stuff that as a kid I'm like, oh my God, like it's not even Bugs anymore. It's just a guy.
He just breaks character. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah. That adds a little juice.
But you know, I come from the world of animation, not just as a voiceover artist, but I started in animation as a character layout artist. I used to draw for
I didn't
animation.
know that.
Yeah,
No kidding.
It's why I was a horrible actor.
So you're very
when
animated,
No,
period.
definitely animated. But what I was gonna say is because of spending time with you and other living legends in the booth, that's how I learned how to become a better actor. By watching you guys perform. I never went to school for dramatic arts or performing arts. It was, you know, I just love cartoons so
Yeah,
much.
same here. Yeah.
But when I got here, it was like, you know, it was a rude awakening. It's like, you're good at voices, but you got to get better at acting. And
Oh,
no one
okay.
told me that. Well, one person did.
Well,
And-
yeah, the person who said next time.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
But these are the things, if you're a young voiceover artist or artist, you're going to hear a lot in the beginning of your career, but don't take that closed door as the end of it all for you.
Yeah.
I always went, okay, this is what I need to
It's
do.
a learning experience.
And just by the luck of being in rooms with people like you, Rob Paulson, Jeff Bennett, you know, I just learned John DiMaggio. I just learned how to do it, like just to be better, I guess.
Yeah. Well, better is good.
Yeah,
Better is apparently better.
yeah.
So-
better gets you the better job.
Well, you're on top of it now. You are just a monster.
Oh,
I
boy.
mean, you are. Somebody brought it up that I'm kind of like a Disney guy.
Right.
Sort of, and you're the WB.
I was just thinking about that. That's why I wore this
So,
shirt, by the way.
look at-
it's a
okay.
Scar T-shirt. It's a little inside baseball, and I'm sure you Jim Cummings fans will know why I'm wearing
Yeah.
this.
Well, whenever I sign one of those, I always put a musical note.
Yes.
Off to the side, so the people know I wasn't Scar throughout the entire. I did like 4 or 5 lines.
Sure.
But then I sang "Be Prepared."
Yes.
Be prepared. Then
The
you gotta
entire
laugh.
song?
No, he speaks it all.
does the
speaks.
speaking parts.
He never says the words "be prepared."
Right.
I mean, like even when he's, not singing.
And this is how obsessed I was with voiceover and a nerd as a kid was. I remember buying that soundtrack and looking at, and by buying I mean a
Stealing?
CD, a
okay.
CD,
Yeah.
stealing, yes. But I mean, I purchased a CD, kids, and if you look up what CD means, it's like a hard
Compact disc.
It's like an MP3, but you could touch it, and it used to come with a little pamphlet, a little booklet, and
Yes.
inside that are the credits. And
Yeah.
in that credits list, on the track list, you will see the name Jim Cummings in the track Be Prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And as a nerd, as a kid, I would always listen to that and try to find you in there.
Yes.
Thinking, oh my God, this
Yeah.
guy.
Well, years ago, I had I had a kid, as you will know, like when you go to conventions, certain people are very obsessed, and they happen to know every single solitary thing and
Oh,
everything
absolutely.
of things of this nature. And I happen to know for a fact that your character Ed did not say anything during the entirety of that song. So I am curious as to why your name would even be mentioned.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, well, I sang it. No, I'm sorry, that was Mr. Jeremy Irons.
This is the culture we live in, though. When
So-
you introduce the behind the scenes, and God bless the fans, that's why we
Yes.
do this.
Oh, yeah.
But it's almost like everyone's an expert now, and I
Yes.
swear they love looking for those loose threads to pull on. You
Yeah.
know, and that's fine. We all like to peer behind the curtain, but
Yes.
me on the other hand, I was just like floored. Anytime I find out these fun facts about how
crazy business.
these movies get made, right? For instance, during the pandemic, there's a very legendary actor by the name of James Hong. You know Mr. James Hong. You probably worked with him many times, but Big Trouble in Little China.
He was
in
a cool dude. Yeah.
completely. He plays Po's father in Kung Fu Panda. Po, you're not gonna become a kung fu master.
Yes.
He's that guy. But he recorded from home, like a lot of us did during the pandemic, and he's a much older gentleman, and not all of us are professional engineers. So there was a project. I think it was called like Disco Batman or something. It was like they've done every version of Batman now, and now including 70s exploitation film. And in every 70s movie, some the villain was always the guy with the Fu Manchu mustache.
That's right.
Yes, well,
That's
I'm
how you
glad
could
you
tell.
can come to our secret lair.
Yeah,
Long nails too.
Yes, yeah, like Dr. Zinn from Johnny Quest. Yes, but yeah, he played the bad guy in that movie. But for some odd reason, anytime he had to say it plural, like, oh, look at that flock of birds, but he would turn his head on the S.
Oh.
So I was hired to come in to finish James Hong's plurals in that movie.
Oh,
So
my God. What a
anytime-
credit.
What a credit. Anytime you hear him say, yeah, I'll have some dumpling. And I'm the gz. Yeah. Dumplings. Yeah.
You were in charge of diphthongs, I think.
yeah,
Is that a
I-
diphthong? I forget.
It's some kind of thong. Some kind of
Yeah, some kind of
diphthong song. Yeah.
diphthong,
No,
yeah.
I am all the plural. There's literally a folder with just me doing James Hong S's somewhere.
Oh, my
and it's the
gosh.
but I got
That's a hell of a credit.
on the end of the other line was Bruce Timm. Of course, we know from Batman the Animated Series, he was producing that one, and I just he was like, "Wow, that's great." And Bruce, he's just like
Yes.
poker face, like
Yeah.
he never smiles. But to hear him say that's awesome, that's great. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm doing something right.
Well, you've said S before.
Yes, it's true. It's true. But yeah, we do some funny things in this industry, and I always say whatever puts gas in the tank.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, I have one job that I did that was it was weird. It was kind of terrible, and I don't really like bringing it up. But did you ever have one of those where you're just sitting there going, "What the hell am I doing here?"
Oh,
Jesus
well, I mean,
Christ."
for me, it was the beginning of my career. I actually talked to Mark Summers about this on another podcast. Now, I had mentioned before I was an artist before I was a voiceover artist. And even before being an artist and editor, I was a production manager at an animation studio. Actually, the same studio that created the Ren and Stimpy show, Spumco.
Oh, wow.
Now, years ago, before actually there was even a market for adult animation, they had thought of doing a reboot of Ren and Stimpy, which was more adult in nature and not even in like a clever, playful way. It was just literally no holds barred.
Oh, wow.
And one of our good colleagues, he's been on the show, Mr. Billy West, was the original voice of Stimpy, and later took on the role of Ren. You know, when they were producing this show, I was again on board as a production manager. The idea and hope was to get him back for that series, but I think, you know, for him he had done it for 5 seasons, I think. It was,
done a few. That's
huge
for sure.
Success.
Big.
And, you know, this is now in his Futurama days, Red M&M days. He's not looking back. He doesn't need to go back to that one.
Right.
So he refused, right? He said, no, thanks. And again, I'm production manager on this. And now I'm thinking, okay, plan A is out the window.
Yeah.
I'm working with the creator.
Time to step in.
No. I was like, what are we going to do?
Oh.
And they cast another actor who came in and took over the role, recorded 1 episode, and started to bring in his own script pages. This was the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
He's bringing in the storylines and the script.
He brings in pages of script that he wrote saying, now this would be funnier.
What?
And then, and he's actually no longer with us.
No,
rest in peace. And all, you know, he'll for his sake and legacy will remain nameless. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But
and then I'll tell you guys.
Tell you the rest of us. It's hot gossip, guys. I was there. I was like, what is happening? So that guy got let go, and Plan C now was. You know, I was talking to John Kay, was the creator of the show. He's like, well, there's only one thing left to do, and that's make Stimpy a mute character. I was like, huh? Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, when Tweety and Sylvester were together, they would talk to each other.
I got a putty tat.
I'm going to eat that bird if it's the last thing I do. But then when Porky and Sylvester were teamed up, Porky could talk, but Sylvester acted like a regular house cat and wouldn't say a word. So he thought, well, easy.
That's weird.
Yeah,
okay.
Easy. We'll take this like world famous character that everyone loves to hear.
Yeah.
And not give him any lines of dialogue, and you know, like
oh, that's a brilliant move.
Yeah, like Austin Powers and Dr. Evil.
All of a sudden, he's a mime. No, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Oh boy. So, in you know, not even thinking about, you know, legacies and other people's participation and their creations, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try, because they were auditioning still.
Sure.
And I ended up auditioning for it, and I got it. You know, and again, for me, Billy West, and I've talked to Billy about this, and I've said it to him, he will always be that character. And you know, I never meant any ill will towards him or any of the fans or anything like that. But it's a tough thing when you're here and you're, you know, trying to save the show that you're working on, and working for this maniacal boss, who then later, you know, ends up, you know, getting canceled for other reasons. But you're just kind of like, wow, what a weird situation that was, and what a weird studio it was. But the one thing that you could say about that studio was how much talent it drew to the hive, to the honeypot, to the hive, but how much abuse a lot of people took in that studio. You know, trying to get stuff either approved or just the you know,
a lot of red tape, or
his approval. Everyone,
you have to be approved. Yeah.
Everyone thought he was the be all end all of you know, because he was such a great artist and trained a lot of great artists. But you know, you end up working at other studios and go, oh, there's other people to work with. That's not the only person I can work with.
That's true.
And there was also a situation where he knew I wanted to do voices, but never let me. It was always like,
really?
Oh, you want to do voices? Great, but you have to do this for me.
But what an unsung hero you were, though. I mean, that's insane.
It was crazy. That's
like a pot of gold. Nah, hand me the copper.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. No, give me the pennies. You can keep the gold doubloons.
It was a little nuts, but hey, here we are. I'm on the
you made
Jim
it
Cummings
through.
podcast.
You made it through. Oh, well, yeah.
I must be doing something
And I've got
right.
you as a caster potting something.
Here it is.
Star.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
When we were working on Puss in Boots, I gotta
Yeah.
say it was such an education and such a joy.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
El guanto blanco.
We got to do a lot of scenes together.
Yes, Ginger.
I remember one day I came into work and you had just finished your session and Andrea Romano said Jim actually left you something on your music stand.
Yes.
It was a gift. And it was this cool T-shirt. And if you know me,
Yeah.
you'll know that I love
he's a cool T-shirt guy.
graphic tees. And it was a Puss in Boots T-shirt.
And I remember what it said.
What did it say?
Fear me if you dare.
If you dare, yeah.
Which I thought, that's cool as hell.
And I was like, damn it.
Fear me if you dare. I mean, man.
I was like, damn it, Jim. That's the a Star Trek line. But damn it, Jim. What a nice guy. What a nice gesture. It didn't have to do that. No one ever has to do anything nice for each other on this planet. But you know what? Something like that stayed with me for so long, and I wanted to return the favor. And if you know me, I like graphic tees, but I love art. And if you know me, when I go shopping, I don't often shop for myself. I shop for other people. So I wanted to give this to you. This is jury duty forms.
Whoa,
No, just
drum
kidding.
roll.
Now, if I were a true friend, I would have got it framed. But now I'm going to give you a task. Now you have to get this framed.
I will.
Yeah, please.
Are we ready for the great reveal?
Can we? Yeah. So
Oops. Look, it's paper.
it's paper. It really is
It's
jury
really
duty.
paper.
No.
All right, hold on. I have a slight idea of what it might be.
Now, I imagine being with such
might-
iconic characters, you probably own or have lots of artwork of these guys in your house.
Could be.
But this is a special one. If you read the certificate of authenticity,
And I will.
authenticity, and if you want to read it as a character,
It's authentic authenticity. Oh, John Coots. Originally illustrated art, exquisite multicolor pencils. Oh, I could use a couple of those. With full Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too. Was something about bedtime stories. I don't have my skepticals on, but it says that it was airbrushed underwater. No, wait, watercolor airbrushing looks from the book.
so
It's from a book, and it's in excellent condition.
it's an original hand-drawn color pencil rendering of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger from a storybook, a children's storybook, and I thought
It's gorgeous.
It's you, and I have some
It's you.
experience talking to myself, and I
Yes.
thought,
Oh, yeah.
it's super cool, and I think the audience should take a peek. If they could take a look at that,
Where should I go?
Pause and zoom
How
in.
am I doing here?
Here.
But
Here we
Go to
go.
this one.
There we go.
but I thought you should have that in your
Look at that.
in
Thank you, Eric.
Hang it in your
Hey.
bathroom.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
That is magniferous.
Yeah,
We will put this right here.
it's cool. I just
Yes.
you don't see that often.
It's a beautiful thing.
And no AI was used in the creation of that image.
Yes. We probably had to kill a few pencils. But that's
a few trees, definitely.
a beautiful that's
Eric,
quite
you mentioned
lovely.
the word cancelled before, and we were talking a bit off air, Chris and I, about a certain film that's being cancelled that you got the chance to actually see. Can we talk about this supposed film that supposedly exists out there somewhere?
Now, are we talking about a certain film regarding a coyote and a certain roadrunner? Okay.
That would be the
Apparently
one.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
Meep, meep. That is 2 meeps for yes, 1 meep for no. Meep, meep, meep. Yeah. Boy, oh boy. This is gonna be another rant. This is a whole other episode. But
Here we go. Strap in, folks.
this is just the way our industry is right now, and it's unfortunate and fortunate that we get to work as artists. We get to people here, even this podcast, this is like art. This is something that we enjoy and our livelihood and what we like to do. And hey, guess what? Sometimes we get paid for it.
That's right.
But the unfortunate, ugly side to most of what we do for a living.
So
is
show
that-
business has business in it?
Exactly.
I knew you were going to say that.
Exactly. There is commerce, even to this art.
Yeah.
This beautiful piece of art still had to go through,
Some board
the
somewhere.
system. The
Yeah.
system. And when you're a big corporation like Warner Brothers, sometimes these movies have to fall through the cracks in order to make the books, the numbers make sense. And we were one of them. But again, the harsh reality is the years and years of back-breaking feats that artists and set people and lighting people and people that hold the microphones and the Will Forte, John Cena, the stars of the movie, myself, Candy Milo, who did voices on them. I did 10 voices in this film.
Yeesh.
10.
Yeah.
And
It should have just been the EB movie. Why not? Jeez.
I say I resemble that remark.
WEB. Yeah.
So from what I heard, it's not exactly canceled or in the trash. It's just either it has already been written off for taxes, but people don't know that actually you can unwrite things that have been written off so long as you give the government back whatever cut you got back from the film. Say, for instance, if the movie was $70 million, they get 40 million or 30 million back. So in order to resurrect that project, you have to give back that money, and then it becomes
and then you're
watchable.
Do you
kinda
think
starting
Warner
in the
Brothers would
hole.
ever do that, though? I feel
No.
like that's a long shot that Warner Brothers would ever
this
do
current
that.
regime, no.
Yeah.
The next one, perhaps.
Yeah.
Now listen to this.
What
So-
about if somebody else bought it? Like, is that possible? Can you buy it from the tax man?
Absolutely. So this is what I just was able to celebrate was a U.S. debut of a film that I'm in as
Of Daffy Duck and Porky Pig.
called The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Now
The
this
day
was
the Earth blew up, a Looney Tunes movie. I hope you wrote that down,
You
folks.
should see the hashtag. It's like this big.
Wow.
It's like the handkerchief that keeps coming out of the
Magician's sleeve.
So this one was made not under the Warner Brothers theatrical department, but the Warner Brothers television animation department. So the budget was significantly lower, and it had less John Cena and less stars in it. It was all 2D animation, not even CG. So the idea that
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's less risk for them as opposed to a $70 million movie. And I can think, I think about it because sometimes something every week happens. So something every week happens to make me think about like Coyote versus Acme and the risks that these companies are willing and not willing to take. So the entire cast of Beetlejuice was asked to lower their salaries in
Really?
order to release the movie in theaters.
Wow.
So now it comes in at 90 million and it makes $400 million, right?
That's not bad money.
Not at all. Now, a week later, Joker 2 comes out. Same company. The budget is $200 million. Now, again, this was a lightning in a bottle movie. The first one made $1 billion worldwide.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
$1 billion worldwide. And then they give Todd Phillips, the director, carte blanche to make this movie. No notes, no screenings, no test screenings. And look what happened.
Yeah.
Like a $200 million movie makes $40 million and maybe, who knows? And it needs 240 to break even.
See, that's a hell of a hill.
So then you think about like something like Looney Tunes, Coyote versus Acme, and it's like 70 million, maybe at this point with all the press that we've been giving it, you could just probably release that and that movie would make so much money.
Yeah.
It would make so much
Yeah.
money. But because of morbid curiosity.
Oh, sure.
I was so
I
excited.
thought
Like,
it was a publicity stunt when I first heard it. I thought this is just a great publicity stunt. They're going to say they've cancelled the film and then go, changed our
Right?
minds, and everyone's going to go, oh my God, we better see it before we miss it
Because
again.
of look at what happened with Deadpool, right? Deadpool was not going to get released, and then that footage got leaked. I think Ryan Reynolds. even
yeah, the
leaked
test
it.
footage. Yeah.
And it just now we're at now we're at Wolverine Deadpool,
Yeah.
which is another $1 billion.
Forget it,
You
yeah.
know, just
Yeah.
because someone like put that out there.
And it was so good.
And same thing with Sonic the Hedgehog. Everyone was in uproar when the character design came out. He did look weird. They make a joke about it in the Chippendale Rescue Ranger movie, which is hilarious. And you know, they changed the design, and here we are. It's a trilogy. You know what I mean? Like there's three Sonic the Hedgehog movies because of audience. You know, they demanded better. And
Audience participation.
we thought that was going to happen with Coyote versus Acme because everyone was behind it. And, you know, my hope is this. The Porky Daffy movie comes out in theaters next year, February 28th.
Oh, okay.
And so far, it's been screened in the Annecy Film Festival in France with great reception. And it just premiered here in the U.S. On the weekend. Great reception.
Oh, good.
My hope is that it makes its money back and more, and that it opens the gates
Worldwide.
for a Taz movie. I want to see a Taz movie.
I do too.
There was supposed to be a Taz series coming
Oh.
out. Yes,
Taz? Imagine that. A Bugs Bunny Taz movie. How about that?
Oh.
Now, don't eat me. I'm all skin and bones. I'm all gamey.
but yeah.
God, that's
Anywho,
funny.
yeah, that's my Hollywood rant, and
That's
also
right.
the end of my career. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
I'm just jealous you got to see it.
You leaked the photo, didn't you? Or you didn't leak it, but you released the photo in the courtroom. That
What's
was
funny
you.
is that was already released in a previous article with one of the exec producers, and you know, I put it out, and suddenly it was news. There was like a little stretch of time last year between, and I'll tell you, I remember we were at the end of the writer's strike. The writer's strike ended on a Wednesday, and
Oh, yeah?
literally on Friday is when we found out we were, you know, when we were cut. And it wasn't just us. Remember, there was Batgirl, and there was Scoob Holiday Hunt, which was apparently
Scooby-Doo?
There was a sequel to the Scooby-Doo animated CG movie that was awesome, under Warner Brothers. And the director Tony Cervone, I know you've worked with him. He literally finished the score of the movie to Lock Picture the day that he found out he was canceled. So, like, that the movie was in the trash.
Wow.
That's so sad. Like, you're putting the final
Because
note.
you're getting. Oh man.
You're putting the final like that costs money, like all that money, and you're thinking, you know, it's kind of weird.
We're poised for takeoff here, and
Like why bother doing anything? it just
that's-
kind of hurts, you know. You're kind of like,
Yeah.
it's again for us artists, again, like it's what we
Oh,
love
that's
to
painful.
do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it hurts because you're putting your heart and soul into this
Oh
thing.
yeah, and plus you
knowing-
like going to theater and seeing people laugh. And
Yeah.
did they get that joke? Oh, they did. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, that worked.
exactly what we
You know,
do.
it's gratifying. It's gratifying.
When we're in the sound booth, we literally have horse blinders on, and we
Yeah.
don't know if this will, years later, it takes time to make. And once it's made, will it get seen? And if it gets seen, will it be liked? So the fact that something that you chiseled away at for 2 to 4 years is now just expendable.
yeah.
Number one, that hurts. Number two, it also kind of teaches the audience to think that these characters are expendable, so that they think, well, if I don't have to see a Looney Tunes movie next year, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't need to see them ever again. You know, like it kind of trains the audience.
We don't like that.
Exactly. So, I mean, as much as I like driving my Uber car, no,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. you guys need a ride to LAX after this?
Oh boy.
I have a question for you, Eric.
Yes, sir.
So we've been talking about, you doing a bunch of imitations of voices. Obviously you've taken on, legacy voices and whatnot. I'm curious what your approach is to a legacy voice, I'll call it, versus like an original character, when you have to come up with a voice for an original character.
Yeah, well, original characters are that's the dream right there. I mean, and talk to this man. This guy's the I often say like him and Billy West are like the modern day Mel Blancs, not just because they've done Mel Blanc voices, but because they've created an array of their own original characters like Mel Blanc, and that's the real dream of any voiceover artist.
it's gratifying.
As
yeah.
much as we like playing these icons.
Classic, sure.
this guy's Darkwing Duck. He's bonkers. He's anything and everything.
A few other. Yeah. I like Hondo.
I've been on rides where I was like, Hondo, you know what I mean? Like, that's fantastic. And again, that's the dream. But what I love about the idea that, hey, here's a character, go for it. It's the world is yours, really. There's no ceiling to what you can do. And, I don't know if I've yet to, coin my Johnny Bravo or Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls or Bender from Futurama yet. But, if the majority of what I do is voice matching and icons, I'm happy with that too.
Sure. Oh my God.
When I was looking over your credits, one credit that stood out to me was the Gromflemite customs agent from Rick and Morty.
That was in the pilot.
I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because you gave him such just like a regular voice.
Generic regular
so
voice.
When you see take us through that process, when you see the animation of like this alien massive mosquito looking creature.
I think Jim will agree. It's like whatever is sometimes funnier is what is contrast to the design.
Yes.
So you could have that alien-looking creature, and it should sound like that. But if it just sounds like Dr. Quest, that's all I'm going to do. That's my best Don Messick impression. Johnny, Haji, we have to go with race. He's there to protect us. Yeah. It's, I'm Filipino-Canadian, but how white can I sound? That's my, that's my key right there.
You sound pretty beige.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. As beige as this paper. Yeah. That was the approach to that character, and it's the end of the scene or the episode, and it's one of my favorite. Some of the favorite lines written is you're next, go into the machine. And they're like, well, why do we have to go into the machine? It's like, it's a new machine that detects stuff all the way up your butt. Yeah. It's like they're going through
well, now you're talking.
Yeah. Warning, kids. Rick and Morty is an adult show. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely one of the funnier characters I've ever had to do. I thought you were going to talk about, this is another show we worked on, was Turbo Fast, which was one of Netflix's, if you remember, a DreamWorks movie where starring Ryan Reynolds trying to be a snail that wants to go fast. Yes. I believe you played possibly a Cajun character, could have been either a cook that wanted to...
that rings a bell.
I think he wanted to eat everybody. He wanted to cook everyone.
I tend to be designated Cajun in cartoons.
Yeah, and I played in that show. There were a lot of celebrities in the film. One of them was I had to do a Paul Giamatti voice match. Now, Turbo, you're gonna have to wear a helmet, okay? Safety first, Turbo.
That's really good.
When I watch Paul Giamatti in his interviews, he's very subdued, and he always tries to sound like he's trying to eat his shoulders. He's trying to eat his own neck.
That's interesting. You do what I do. When I do an impression of somebody, I don't know that I certainly don't look like them, but you were doing all of the
mannerisms.
And I can assure you.
Look at that! Instant Paul Giamatti.
And it was, you were just there.
Yeah, no, that's
and there's that little tuck. Like I don't want anybody else to hear this but you.
And he does that. And I love him for that. He's such a character, and that's where I think, when a celebrity takes on and we could talk about this because you've had experience with the Winnie the Pooh feature film with celebrities versus what they should sound like. Right? And it's funny when a celebrity like maybe Eddie Murphy or Mike Myers or even Paul Giamatti that has Seth Rogen, of course, right? He's got a character, and Tom Kenny says it. He goes, "We do character voices, but they have voices with character." Like Chris Rock, right? I mean, come on, he's
that's awesome.
Do you remember,
I love a good Chris Rock.
My favorite was when he was at the Oscars and he goes, "Animation's the easiest job in the world." we say one thing and they give us $1 million. And I'm like, they give you $1 million.
No, they give you, yeah.
I get like negative. I owe them $1 million. Yeah, it's almost like the funniest thing where it's like, man, oh man, yeah, celebrities do.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, Chris Pratt is the voice of this couch. Yeah, he's everywhere. But yeah, you know, we get to sometimes get to hop in and do voices for the celebrities, and sometimes we get replaced by them.
Sometimes, yes, we do. And you know, I used to say, you know, I said, look. It's like this, Tom Cruise. I won't star in any Mission Impossible movies if you shut the hell up. That's all I ask. Just shut up, Captain Planet, or whoever. You know, it's like okay, you know,
it's
TV guide casting. But you know, I've replaced a couple celebrities here and there over the years, and I'm sure you have.
Oh my gosh! Last year for me was the year of
the substitutional.
Yes.
So take him out, famous person.
It was
put in talented person. Call Eric.
It was my mantra for last year was if you're either too busy, too crazy, or you're at the Capitol building. I replaced someone that was at the Capitol building.
No way.
Who was this?
Bob's Burgers, right?
This was on Bob's Burgers.
Gary Busey. I don't know why he
listen here. I'm at the Capitol building. You know, Gary Busey. Yeah, no. There was a comedic actor by the name of Jay Johnston. He was a very funny guy on Mr. Show with Tom Kenny.
Oh yeah.
Jim Tolley, Jill Tolley, and Jack Black, Sarah Silverman. Bob Odenkirk and David Cross and Jay Johnson was one of the players,
right?
And he did a voice on Bob's Burgers that say, "Hey, Jimmy Pesto, hey Bob, mind if I put my meat in your freezer? Hey, that's a Zoom." That's what I had to do. I was voice matching him because he happened to be at the Capitol building on that day. It was the anniversary is coming up this January.
The anniversary.
So I guess if you happen to be there, that was not a good thing. And he is in jail. So it's hard to do voices in jail.
You see, that's got to throw a real monkey wrench into the.
So the character was missing.
He's literally in.
Yeah, you can't have that in the Bob's Burgers episode. This call is being recorded from a government facility.
So I was told, that,
to accept the charges.
You know, I actually was on that show first, not to replace him, but to voice match Bill Hader from Saturday Night Live, who was just ended up being too busy to play the voice of Big Bob.
To be himself.
Well, yeah, well,
kind of.
You know, he was on the show as Bob's dad, who would show up occasionally. He's not in the show all the time.
Oh.
But I was there to kind of voice match him, and I told him, I said, hey, I know how this city works. I know how Hollywood works. When the A-lister's busy, then I come in. But when he's not busy, I go back in the janitor closet with the broom and the bucket. And they went, no. They went, you're the guy now. They said, you're just going to be the guy now because we can't.
Well, they can't ping pong around like that. I would think.
So while I was there, they said, and here's another role that you could maybe voice match. And I was like, okay. And then that was the Jay Johnston one.
Wait, so they give it to you on the spot, like no preparation? They're like, listen to this. Can you do it?
I definitely had to audition for both.
Yeah.
There was, I'm sure there were
How much preparation do you get for that?
Sometimes the same day.
Yeah.
You have to just do it the same day.
Yeah.
And
dig it up on your phone.
Yeah, oh yeah. I basically
get a reference.
They gave you the reference, they gave you an episode, and I just read it, and that just ended up being it. So yeah, kids. And now to all you celebrities out there, you shouldn't be worried about AI. You should be worried about us taking your job.
That's right. AI schmai.
You seem to really like doing impressions, and you've talked on other podcasts about how you would do how you would do impressions of different voices, in school over the PA and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I think you probably did the same thing, right?
Like
do you have a favorite?
There was one time I imitated the school secretary I was sitting in the front of the class because I usually got in trouble. I was moved to the front. And the PA system was right by the door. And the secretary, her name was Jan Corey. And she almost had like a Marge Simpson voice. She had like a smoker's voice.
Smoker's hack.
And I was able to kind of do this impression of her, and I called myself.
She must have loved it.
I came out to my car one time. My tires were slashed. A note from Jan saying, "Stop doing my voice." Yeah, but I got myself out of class because my teacher was in the back of the class, and I asked her to excuse me to go to the office. In Jan's voice. She thought it was coming from the PA system.
That's wonderful.
So I went, Miss King, is Eric Bauza in class? Can he please come down to the office? And people thought, this is not going to work.
Good enough.
It worked. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
It's like unlocking a superpower.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's Jeff Bridges, man, in the drive-thru. I'd go to In-N-Out, and I'd say, give me that milkshake animal style, man. And,
Yeah.
I like this carpet. It ties the whole room together, man.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's wonderful.
That's the dude, yeah.
And then you pull up to the window, and they're looking for him.
They're like, what's Ken Jeong doing here? The host of The Masked Singer is here, but it sounds like Jeff Bridges.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So you're kind of known now. I mean, like you're the impression guy. You can do it.
It's tough.
You're getting it done. That's a pretty good.
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it.
That's a ridiculously good skill. Now, you know what I've done too is, have you ever done this? Because people have said, how do you come up with this? How do you come up with that? And I've, Hondo Onaka, my Star Wars guy, he is and I joking around with whenever I'm doing a little seminar or something like that, I'll say, can you guess who the two celebrities are that I'm mashing up? And nobody know, and I couldn't do it either. I mean, I wouldn't if I didn't know the answer. I wouldn't. And Hondo Onaka, he's Onaka Transport Solutions.
Yeah.
Don't worry, my friend. I'll tell you what. Give me all of your money. Not a problem. I will take it. I will invest it for you because you see, I would rather invest it for you than cheat you out of it. And he's Yul Brynner.
Yeah.
And now I'm forgetting his name. Charles Bronson put together.
Oh my gosh, those are like two badasses.
Really,
by the
and
way.
they would be really, really probably have a really ugly kid. But it come out sounding like Hondo, so that's not bad.
Now, when you were asked to perform this character, did you ever get to see the animatronic or the
No.
really?
Yeah, I didn't see him. In fact, it was when I did it. I think the first one might have been Clone Wars. I think it might have been.
Yeah. So he was an
Wars.
existing character in the series already before the ride.
Yeah, before the ride.
And then he became. It's just I've been on that ride a million times. And every time I see
it's a lot of fun.
I'm still like, damn.
Yeah,
that is cool.
It's a really cool ride. Well, we have pictures of us as a family. We all went there, and we got to go on the inaugural, whatever you want to say, voyage. And the thing is, they told me one of the problems is that it's such an accurate portrayal of the Millennium Falcon. You walk up and you go, holy crap, it's here. I mean, it's not like, you don't walk into some big black room and all of a sudden it looks like it.
That great, yeah.
But you get up and you walk up and you're sitting and you're at that table with the 3D chess players and you're going, oh man, this is, and then somebody hit his head up there or something, and you're remembering all the things that happened. And you just get in there and it takes off and it boggles it is unbelievable.
It is not only like a feast for the senses and the eyes, but it's just a lot of fun. We went for many years at Disneyland with nothing as grand like that. And now it's like we're kids in the candy store.
Yeah,
and
it really is.
You probably know this. When you go to the park, you can actually operate the practical Falcon from the outside with your phone. Did you know that?
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, I forget.
There's like
something to
certain.
do with
I didn't
that.
know that.
I don't know if it's off the Genie app for the park itself, or there's something that and I'm sure there people watching will know that there's something that you could access where you could press buttons on your phone and things happen to the like compartments, steam.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when you go to the park next time, ask
Ooh.
someone that works there, one of the performers. They'll let you know. But you could like hit a button on your phone when you're outside of the ride, and like the actual Falcon's outside.
Yeah.
Like a little like a door will open and steam will come out, or a light will blink. Sounds,
that's kinda cool.
Yeah. There's like a
Feel
little,
like you're-
little Easter eggs in the park that you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember when they were first talking about it, and it was presented to me. And they've done this twice. Once with the Winnie the Pooh movie, and once with this incredible ride. They brought me to the park, or to Imagineering. And well, here we have something we want you to see. So I go up, and they have these big gigantic rooms, and it's like when you're going to do a movie, they have storyboards all over creation, all around. You're walking all around, and just walls and walls full of it. And they go, and what we're thinking of is blah blah blah, and then what'll happen is you'll go down here, and then people will do that. And I said, and you've done all this on spec. You don't. This is all on spec.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You don't even have a commitment for it. And the guy goes, "Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. No, you didn't tell him. It's half done. It's halfway built already." I said, "So you're trying to convince me to do this?
Yeah.
Are you even close to kidding?
Yeah.
There's a slim chance I'm in.
Yeah. You're
I have an
basically-
idea. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll do it. How about that?
It's not
Let's-
just rides that they do there at Imagineering. They're creating like science and you know what I
Oh,
mean, like they're
yeah.
creating things with formulas and
Oh, yeah.
physics and inventing things like
Yeah.
technology, furthering technology.
Yeah, I'm still boggled by Mr. Lincoln.
Right.
And he
Wait,
just stands up.
what
"Boys,
about him?
here." And he's giving sign language. Oh no, he's got somebody's forgot a servo in his right
You're
arm.
saying that's not the real Abraham
Yeah,
Lincoln?
yeah, I'll tell ya.
You're talking to a gullible Canadian.
Oh,
a gullible.
Yeah, but it was great. And and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And I thought, oh, well, this is nice. We're going to walk. And he's turned around and he's looking up at the screen and he's doing something. He's shuffling things around. And then he turns around and walks over to the edge. And I went, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's watch this. This
Yeah.
is good. It just knocked me out.
Yeah, I can't. Which one was the frog and the princess?
A Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog. That
Yeah.
that ride that you got that got a whole makeover.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
And you were a part of that one too.
Yeah, I'm singing. I'm singing at the end, and it ticked me off because they're going, wait a minute, what do you mean Ray's not going to be in the ride? And he went, well, he was killed. Might as well give him a damn flashback. We had flashbacks all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody has a flashback.
Yeah.
That's how, and I was like, well, then they bring us over, bring the family over to for the inaugural voyage. And, Keith David was there and
Yeah.
Nika Noni Rose, Michael Leon Woolley. And we're all
Gosh.
just sitting there digging life, we're cool and everything. And by the way, it broke down. And so we got to sit out in the blistering sun
Oh, no.
for half an hour.
You're kidding
And
me.
Keith David, I'm about to get up out of here. I am not going to be sitting here. I'm not here. I didn't come here to work on my tan. And then it started back up again and off we were going. But Ray wasn't there. And I'm going, okay, where's Ray? Tiana, you look great. Where's Ray? And then all of a sudden go, take the damn, we're going to take. And I got the song going.
There
and
it
I went,
is.
oh, okay. And I'm leading the fireflies out into the night or wherever the hell we were going. So I went, okay, I feel better now.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
You're. I mean, aside from again the existing icons, you're just part of that park as your own.
Yeah,
legacy
I
characters.
guess, yeah.
And,
I like that it's right next to the Winnie the Pooh and Tigger ride.
oh, is it?
Yeah, it's there was
I haven't been there in
Winnie the Pooh,
in a
Tigger,
bit,
then
so-
Ray's Berets, and then I think it's Tiana's.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
they not only just did the ride, but the little area around.
Yeah, I
it.
got
So
a little
they-
corner.
Oh,
a
that's
Disney
so
corner.
great.
I felt so good about that. Yeah. Anyway.
My theme park participation is I'm in the Shrek's has a new cottage in the Florida Universal, and I'm Puss in Boots telling people where the bathroom is. That's it.
That's pretty good.
All the male litter boxes are here, and the lady litter boxes are there.
That's it. That's all I say. Yeah. That's my legacy to theme parks.
It's important to know, though. That's pretty vital information.
Be sure to bury your turds.
Yeah. That's what I do at theme parks.
That's sage advice. Sage advice.
Yeah.
Did you know Jim was in the original Shrek?
As
Yes, I was. Captain of the guard.
oh no way.
Ogre. Good God. What ogre? I said ogre. What? It's something about, and then it's the donkey. It's a flying donkey. You know. And
You know that they have Shrek raves now, right? Like,
Shrek raves?
Have you seen this?
no.
Go.
What?
You have. You know what I'm talking about. This is where we're at.
He
now,
just
guys.
came from one.
He's still there. Yeah, your glow stick is still glowing. But I mean, the fact that you are in this movie that was made now, DreamWorks is now 30 years old now. Just celebrated its 30th.
yeah.
The fact that they've turned one of their flagship. I don't know if they did it, but someone did. There's Shrek raves where you could just go trip out at Shrek, Shrek, like moments from the movie remixed with techno music, and people dress up like the characters. I'm sure someone has dressed up as your character at a rave,
That is hilarious. I've never seen that.
tripping Shrek balls.
Wow.
Tripping Shrek balls
That sounds like a condition.
on that good green.
You know, there's a cream for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
doctor.
I'm sure there is.
I think I have a condition. Well, they called it a Shrek ball, but they said, "How about a Shrek rave? That's going to be cooler." Oh my god! But here we are.
Eric, I know you're the Looney Tunes guy, but honestly, me growing up, I was a Muppets kid, adored the Muppets, and my kids now love Muppet Babies. It's the show they watch every day. My daughter takes a Fozzie toy to bed every night.
No
She loves
way.
her Fozzie. Were you a
that's
Muppets
great.
kid growing up?
What's your kid's name?
So Holly's she just turned 4 yesterday, Holly, and my son is 6, Elliot. So they adore the Muppets and they just love Muppet Babies. Every morning before school, Muppet Babies.
Hey, Holly. Hey, Elliot. It's your pal, Fuzzy Bear. Want to hear a good joke? Okay. Why did the chicken cross the playground? To get to the other slide? Waka waka.
Oh, there you go.
I got to do Fozzie for.
That's great.
Muppets is another thing. I was again talking to someone about it the other day, where it was just such a part of our lives. You know,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
it was like a variety show when variety shows were a thing.
We're there.
and it's something that definitely everyone in the family could enjoy. And of course, we had Kermit the Frog in Sesame Street, so he was there. But it's so hard for me to think that if you were to show a picture of Kermit the Frog to a kid now, they probably wouldn't even know who that character is. And I just hope that they continue to do things with these great characters, so that we don't forget about them. I love the Muppets, and I feel like there should always be something with these. Great
I agree.
characters that
It's pure
Jim
Americana,
Henson.
that's
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. There's nothing else like it in any other country, and it's definitely transcended, all different parts of Earth.
Yeah.
People have seen or have run into Miss Piggy at one point in their life or another. But
Yes, with Kermit.
exactly.
Yeah, rubber ducky, I love you. That was I think that was Kermit. Wasn't it?
Ernie and Kermit, they
Ernie
kind of
and
shared the
Kermit,
same
yeah,
vocal
yeah.
cords,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that same clogged voice that both Jim Henson and Frank Oz kind of have. It's like that weird
Yeah.
back of the throat kind of Ernie,
Yeah.
like Bert was also Frank Oz.
Yeah.
And it's just another. They were just such a good pair.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard Jim Henson talking, I thought, well, he's doing
It's
oh,
Kermit.
no, wait, that's him.
Right?
That's kind of just him.
Yeah, it's just natural
That's
to
a different thing.
kind of just pushes it just a little.
Yeah.
And
Like Sterling Holloway, that was him talking.
exactly
It used to kind of be that way back then. And Paul Winchell was not that far away from Tigger.
Right.
He was just right in there. Got a little nose in there. I tell you.
Crazy is it? And I remember hearing you in an episode of Animaniacs, Nighty Night Tune, where you sang.
Oh,
where you did
yeah.
the lullaby.
Good Night Tune.
Good Night Tune.
Good Night Tune, yeah.
My gosh.
And it was taken, and it was to be, because Sterling Holloway narrated things too.
Yeah.
Like Peter and the Wolf was an old one, I think in the 50s or something.
And I just thought, like, I knew who it knew it was you, but I knew that it was your what you do. But I'm like, man, how crazy is that? You're born with those, the plumbing. I say the plumbing and the pipes. There's the pipes and the plumbing though. It just, whatever it is that you have, it just in the bullseye. Like it never misses.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Well, thanks.
It's like one of those things where you're just like, damn. It's just an anomaly.
Now, when you take over, because I've thought of this because people have asked me and blah, blah, blah. And what is your approach? Because you take all of your voices are classic, iconic. See, for me, I try and think of like them, and what they would say, and that helps with ad-libbing and background and that type of thing. But what is your process? Do you think of it? I just think of it as sound first, and like for me, I want to be able to cough or burp or some other bodily function, and have everybody go, "Oh, was that Tigger doing that?"
Right. Wow, that's pretty profound. That even obviously noises that aren't dialogue have to be them.
In character.
It's got to be them.
Yeah.
And definitely what we talked about earlier, it's there's definitely sound for sure, but a lot of it is the personality. I always say that Mel Blanc created these personalities, not necessarily voices, because as we've all said, anyone can say what's up, dog.
I do the same thing. Yeah, I call them characters. They're not. They're
like
characters
real
with those
people.
voices. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely a combination of, obviously, clearly, kids, I'm not an athlete. The ass dent in my couch will tell you otherwise. I am a trained couch potato and have
mastered the sport.
Mastered the sport of Looney Tuning. I mean,
there you go.
I'll watch almost, at least one short a day or something. It's like my equivalent of going to the gym is 23, 24. 25. Yeah, that's like my, when I was auditioning for Looney Tunes originally, and you were on Looney Tune show. As Taz.
A couple of them, yeah.
I was Marvin the Martian. Isn't that lovely, Earth creature?
Oh, yes.
And I've been voicing Marvin for, almost 15 years. But
Wow.
He was one of my favorites because he didn't sound like anybody. And wasn't there a thing? Get him, because I used to do that badly, just as a kid. And see that was Kermity.
Well,
so
that's why doing Pete Puma. That's a good Pete Puma.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, gee, Rabbit. Oh, you want 2 lumps or 3?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
3 lumps, yeah.
3 lumps, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like we know these comedy beats, and it's like I often say it's like you know the lyrics to your favorite song, and you know those notes, and then it's almost like we're remixers. It's almost like, okay, here's some new musical notes. Here are the notes that you know, but here's different arrangements. So we know that Winnie the Pooh song, but can you deliver us a new Winnie the Pooh song with these new arrangements with the notes that you know? And then, of course, there's the amazing voice directors we work with to help us rein in that performance, as well as the writers and producers who are often on that call or in that room with you to help you guide the performance.
Yeah.
And especially if you're playing against yourself, you probably throw every dart at the wall, and then they pick and choose which takes to contrast them. Do you often record them? One passes Pooh, one passes Tigger?
Yeah, we do. I used to do it the other way around.
Oh, wow.
With both of them talking to each other. And once in a blue moon, I'd hear one of a leak. Tigger would, hey, hold on there. And he would go, hold on there.
Oh,
and I'm,
right.
okay. Okay, let's do that one again.
Yeah. But they live in 2 different areas of your...
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's what I say about Mel Blanc. It's the house of Mel Blanc. Some of them live in the attic.
Like Tweety Bird.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He lives up here. And Bugs is kind of like down on the second.
Sure, that's right. Yeah.
And then maybe
Sylvester and right around here, and then I'll say Foghorn's down in the basement, right?
Yes, I love
Yeah,
Foghorn.
that's right. Yeah, so
Yeah,
See that house that says DOG? That says chicken. Go get him, boy.
Yeah. Chicken, that is.
Yeah.
I used to love those were my favorite things about Foghorn. Well, we got to get going. Shake a tail feather, that is.
Yeah.
Move your buns, son.
Yeah.
In other words, we're leaving. And he would expand on it.
He'd always say these
loved
weird like non sequiturs, like you'd be as confused as a mouse at a burlesque show. I'm like, what? A mouse at a burlesque show, or you'd be like a millipede in a toe counting contest. Those weird catchphrases that only Foghorn.
Yes, and I just loved him. He's one of my all-time favorites. I think he should get more.
Yeah, I do too. And I again,
I'd watch.
If we have our way and they release Coyote versus Acme, we might get to see him. He's in that movie a lot. So.
And you play him?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's Coyote versus Acme.
You got 10 characters. You got to be doing
Yeah.
something.
Well, it's the story of Coyote suing the Acme Corporation because he's never been able to eat the Roadrunner because of faulty products.
Oh,
That's the point of the movie. So
That
it's a
makes
live,
perfect
It's
sense.
a live action like Roger Rabbit
That's
courtroom
great.
drama with Looney Tunes. So
Oh, wow.
what better voice would you have? Now, I say, Your Honor, I object.
Yes.
Now,
that's-
take, for instance, Exhibit A. Yeah. Imagine
That's
a sweaty
wonderful.
Southerner in a courtroom.
Yes.
It's perfect. It's the perfect
It
storm.
really, really is.
So,
Oh, my God.
anyways, But yeah, that's.
So are the other animated characters in the movie, like, are they part of the prosecution or witnesses?
Well,
or
what's funny is Coyote doesn't talk, right?
Yeah.
So he's writing on these picket signs throughout
Yes.
the whole movie. And I mean, Will Forte, Saturday
so
Night
funny.
Live genius, carries the whole film on his back. But every now and then you'll get a cameo from other Looney Tunes characters in the movie.
Oh, that's great.
like, wasn't a specific example? We want the juice.
Daffy is in a sane asylum. They're trying to find evidence, and
Daffy?
Daffy Duck is
Well,
he's been put in a loony bin, literally.
Looney
And
Tunes
he's out
bin.
there just calmly painting a picture.
And then someone brings up Acme, and then he goes nuts.
Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, I can-
Acme!
Yeah.
Those guys!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. It's funny when you do Daffy, and I'll tell you this. Mel Blanc was doing Sylvester, and then they would speed up his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Tweety, I'm sure.
Probably sounded like this, and then they would speed it up in the machine.
I do a self pitch. Same thing for Daffy. But when Mel Blanc performed Daffy, he was still doing Sylvester. You're
thought so, yeah.
despicable. Oh, come on, Bugs.
And then they would speed it up like that.
And it would become
Yes.
Daffy. When I hear Daffy, I hear Richard Dreyfuss with a lisp. For whatever reason.
Now, Mayor Vaughn, what we're dealing with here is a perfect eating machine, okay? And all this machine wants to do on the 4th of July is eat and make little baby sharks. And I'm not going to be a hot meal for some shark, okay?
Yeah.
That's my Richard Dreyfuss with a list. Is Daffy?
That's
Duck.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's really good.
that's what happens when you have too much time on your hands.
Yeah. I've seen him at a couple conventions. I think we should, next time around, if I will
Please.
go and harass poor Richard Dreyfuss.
He'll go,
Bauza, is that it? Come here. Let me
Yeah.
strangle you.
Yeah.
Who's responsible for this?
yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Have you seen the finished product of Coyote versus Acme?
I have.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful film. I'll be honest. It's what's great about it is it's not a nostalgia grab. It's not a product tie-in. It's not there's no basketball players involved. It's literally just
Right.
a very simple Looney Tunes film. That actually is a little. That actually makes you care about these,
Nice.
7-minute short form characters.
Sure.
They're really just made to be thrown away at these gag cartoons. But this movie actually really makes you feel bad for this coyote.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
This guy's got to eat.
He's taking a lot of lumps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Was it
no
Oh,
originally
kidding.
pitched to you as the launch pad for the new Looney Tunes era for WB?
Well, I think again, what we're what we had faced was that this was just like the Daffy and Porky movie. We started making that in 2019, so this was made kind of for streaming, and they were both just great productions. And there were several other productions that were supposed to go that didn't, and I feel like it was just, again, we're in this era now of we had too much content and now we have no content. It's almost like the companies are like, okay, we got to stop. We got to put the brakes on, stop the hemorrhaging, and then maybe once we've figured stuff out, we'll go back. Because already they're starting to produce more stuff at Warner Brothers, and you know that's going to happen. It's the pendulum, right? It swings back and forth. And I mean, luckily and oddly enough, what's saving me right now is preschool shows. Like preschool shows and Adult Swim shows. There seems to be nothing in between.
You got the
right
whole
now.
the whole spectrum there.
But only the bookends.
But yeah.
But they're really, remember there was a time where we
Yeah.
would go in like for Ben 10, there would be so many of these great kids, like 7 to 11 shows, and they just seem to be non-existent. And I think a lot of it is because of Roblox, Minecraft, iPads, YouTube, there's...
Yeah.
But what's weird is I have an 8-year-old son. He's watching like Gumball or regular show, but he's not watching it like he's still catching it on YouTube off the right channels. I'm always making sure at least Cartoon Network is getting the clicks that it needs. But it's not like when we were growing up as kids where, oh, this show's on at 5 p.m. only on Friday.
Right.
Okay, we have to all watch this at the same time. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked
Yes.
it because it felt like everybody, I remember going to like football practice after I had enough time to go home and get a half sandwich and watch a cartoon. And then everybody would go to practice like next door. I lived right next door to the high school where my grade school would also go and practice. And everybody talked about, the Bowery Boys or whatever the cartoon was that they just watched.
It's something that
It's communal.
unified everyone.
It did.
It gave people like a sense of community and it now when you're given the choice to watch it anytime you want, there's still evidence of like, oh, when this person watched it for the ratings purposes. But as far as like, giving that real sense of backing and fandom, it's kind of like hit and miss. And a lot of shows suffer because there's just a lot, right? Like you have to almost find some of these unless someone's telling you, hey, watch this is a good show. You're kind of like, I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
As far as like, oh, what should I watch next? Or, so I don't know. There's a lot that I think needs to be rethought or how we distribute to people in the audience. And for us as artists too, I mean, you did Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. Back when Saturday morning was Saturday morning.
When it was good. Now,
Yeah,
and
it was a lot of
I
fun.
happen to catch a little bit of that as far as residuals are concerned. And now I get a sack of peanuts from Netflix, and it says, take this to your Wells Fargo deposit box.
Yeah.
And good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
It's
tough.
a different critter, different
Yeah.
world.
How do royalties differ from TV royalties to streaming? Is it vastly different, or
Well, I mean, it's funny because I think we were told we don't have those numbers, and then like now there is advertising tier-based streaming for the people that can't afford just non-commercial streaming. Now the advertisers are back, so it's almost like we've reverted back to television, except it's not a la carte, right? So
Right.
you could do the Paramount Plus and Disney, and then not do Warner's, or Warner's and Disney and not do Amazon. But now people can't even afford regular streaming. now they have to pay for ads, and now suddenly they have the numbers.
Yeah.
Because advertisers need to know that what they're buying into is being seen.
Well, that's a big reason for the strike last year, right? Was transparency between these streaming companies. And,
Right.
Yeah.
So now they're kind of basing it off of like, minimum like X amount of views. Like it has to have this extraordinary amount of like, and it's like, well, if you're ordering more seasons of it, clearly it's doing well.
Yeah.
If you're ordering more,
Obviously.
and therefore I should be entitled to some kind of, if I'm not going to get the residuals, I should at least get some kind of
get a
bump.
raise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, luckily, again, preschool is like, paying for my my gas this week.
Yeah. Sure.
And it's like, they're not afraid to do original ideas in preschool as well as use their existing intellectual property. And the same thing for adult animation. Like, there's more original adult cartoons out there than there are reboots of stuff. So it's a crazy, I don't know who makes these rules, but hey, if you have ideas, go preschool, go adult, or just now make it yourself. I feel like that show Bluey that originated in Australia, which was not an original Disney show, but because they got the numbers and the eyes, Disney acquired it for distribution, and it's now on Disney. So if you have the numbers before it exists anywhere, then you might get scooped up by somebody. That's the dream, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to make our own
That
show.
is true. So let's do it. Let's see. Somebody give me a pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yes. That's not a bad idea.
Not bad.
I think we should do that. Have you ever heard of Kung Fu Cow?
Kung Fu Cow. I'm in.
Well, you will.
Chris, should we play some voice swap, do you think?
Yeah. It's a good time for a voice swap. Do you know this game?
I've heard of it. I've seen Legend. And who are we going to do battle with here?
Well, with his 2 Emmys, let's see what we can do here. I had to get that in.
2 Emmys.
2 Emmys. 2 Emmys.
I'm telling you.
That's a wonderful thing. Tell us who for which characters.
Well, Doc, I'm proud to say that I may be the voice person, and that includes Mel Blanc in this company
to win an award, a performance award for Bugs Bunny in 80 years. There hasn't been, for each of them.
Well, that doesn't sound right, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Wow.
Because if you think about it, I guess the Emmy organization or Television Academy didn't really exist while the original run of the Looney Tunes,
That's true.
in the 40s. It was more the race was still then the Oscars. And
That's right.
and it did win Oscars. Looney Tunes did win golden statues.
Oh, that's
but
good.
Mel was never awarded an individual achievement award for his, and I think he still should. I'm still trying to get,
He's got a square on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
He definitely does.
He does have
definitely
that.
does.
I've taken pictures.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I have an Emmy, 2 Emmys for Looney Tunes cartoons, and then the other one was for Bugs Bunny Builders for the same characters.
Okay. Cool.
Bugs, Daffy, Tweety, and Marvin. So
Perf.
thanks for bringing that
That's
up,
incredible.
Jim.
Yes, I thought we'd get that out there. I was going, we gotta get it.
Now I've seen you do, and I know, hey, you this is your show. You guys call the shots. But I've often seen you do Darkwing with other folks, and we could do multiple ones if you want.
Sure.
But my dream was to do Daffy Duck and Darkwing Duck.
Okay.
Together,
That could be, yeah.
doing.
Well, they kind of look alike,
They
little
definitely
sort of.
look alike, and they
you?
almost even sound
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah. Well, Darkwing is nasal.
Yes.
He's nasally.
Yes.
That's for sure. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Now, wait a second. You see, I thought I was the terror that flaps in the night.
No, you molt in the night.
I molt, yes, that's true, especially during the fall, but I thought I was the terror.
You know how Daffy's always trying to one up someone else.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like that was it. That was my dream right there. Was to duel with Darkwing and Daffy. But you should have Darkwing.
Now say you're despicable.
Okay. Now I can't say it without sounding like Daffy now. You're despicable.
Wow, I'm so jealous. I've never heard anyone say it without a lisp. That's how I sound like if I didn't have this fat tongue. I need tongue reduction.
Forked tongue, isn't it?
Is that something like that? Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, there's that's one, but are there others that are on the list of?
There are. Well, I'll tell you what. You come up with a catchphrase, right?
Ooh, I thought I saw a putty tad. I did see a putty tad.
Ooh, okay. Who respond to that? Oh, I thought I saw a putty tad. I did see a putty tad. Yum.
Oh, brother, he's gonna eat me. Yeah, Tasmanian devils eat everything. By the way,
That's very true. That's exactly right.
There is the metabolism on a Tasmanian devil is insane.
Yeah, and I have to tell this very briefly because, we went to Australia a couple of years ago, and we went and saw a Tasmanian devil. They're not as big as you'd think they are. But the damnedest thing, he was in there running around, and all of a sudden, he turns around, and he's running away, and he goes, and I go,
No way.
I said, that's what I said. I said, no, did you hear that thing? And he turns around. And I'm going, it sounds like Mel Blanc. It sounds like me. And it gave me, I've got goosebumps under here.
Yeah.
And he's just all pissed off for no reason. He's just running around all mad.
What's funny, though, is that if you watch one of the original Taz shorts, he's not big at all. He's actually drawn smaller than Bug.
Yeah.
And but that's what makes him more terrifying is that he's just so unassuming. This little guy who's got like the worst temper and the biggest appetite,
Yeah.
That must have been trippy for you to see.
It was unbelievable. It knocked me out. I was like, say that again, please. And I'm trying to get it on.
I have a request for a voice swap.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear Hondo with the stories I could tell.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to hear that with the Gronflemite. I just love Rick and Morty. I'd love to hear that because it sounds like something he'd say too.
Okay, here we go. So here's Hondo and Naka. Oh, the stories I could tell. So many of them true.
Oh, the stories I could tell of things that I found up people's butts. So many of them are unfortunately true.
The stories I could tell. So many of them are true, Doc.
That's wonderful. I just love
I feel like
that.
it would be a waste if we didn't get the two icons, Bugs and Winnie, to do one as well.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Winnie should lead this, though, with catchphrases.
All right, then. Excuse me, Mr. Bunny. Could you please pass the honey?
Well, Doc, I got a variety. We got some carrot honey, and, that's all I got. I got a rumbly in my tumbly. Ain't I a stinker?
Yes, you are.
Sorry, Pooh. Could you please pass the carrot honey?
Well, I passed something, but it wasn't honey.
We passed the test. That's what it is.
Yeah, there you
go. The test of time.
Not a gallstone.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
That's
I
great.
think that's the first time Winnie the Pooh has ever officially spoken to Bugs Bunny in character like that.
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
It gotta be.
We could definitely just. When's Roger Rabbit 3 coming out? That's all I wanted. Or Roger Rabbit 2. I guess we got to
Or
make
two.
a second.
Yeah,
one
was there
first.
a 2? I didn't think.
I wish there were a 2, but I mean, wouldn't that be something? I'm just waiting for. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
There you go. I gotta get it on the side.
That's something else.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Disney to buy Warner Brothers, and then we can have Roger Rabbit too.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that is true, isn't it? Yeah. All those mashups.
Well, is there anything upcoming that people should look for that you want to plug shamelessly?
Well,
Be on
I'm
the
going to
lookout
appear on this
conventions.
podcast, so you guys got to watch it, all right?
Yeah, how about
I
that?
mean, geez Louise. And when are you coming up from Australia to come visit us up here?
When Jim pays for my flights.
All right.
So we will never see him again.
All right. Well, I won't know if you have legs or not. I will only see this much of you, this portion of you.
I would show you, but I'm not wearing pants, so that's
Okay, good.
unfortunate. So.
Well, he's a Futurama episode. Don't they have the guys in there? You know,
In the head, the
yeah,
jar
with the
in the head.
just sitting there.
Head
Just
in the
In a
jar.
yeah. Well, again, the day the Earth blew up, that'll be in theaters next year, February 28th. And again, until then, I'll be driving you to your airport in case you need anything.
Transformers? You're in Transformers? The new season?
Transformers, Earthspark. I play the voice of Prowl, who was... Well, you were in Transformers,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I can't even imagine who you probably voiced in Transformers, but
A long time ago.
right?
Afterburner, Ripper, Snapper, Crab Claw, and that other guy who I can't remember.
Okay, there you go. I mean, again, too many to count. But yeah, that's exciting to be part of another legacy
The
and franchise.
thing, yeah.
And when I got my second Emmy, Mr. Peter Cullen was up there getting his lifetime Emmy, and having witnessed Frank Welker kind of do his speech for Peter, welcoming him on stage was awesome. I got
Two
to
classy
see,
guys.
I get to see Megatron give a speech about Optimus Prime. Who gets to say that? That's insane. And they couldn't be nicer. Just like yourself.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
We've done it again.
We did it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Bauza.
Another successful episode.
Hey. Send your cards and letters in.
Yes. And I guess it would only be appropriate to say,
Yeah, that's all, folks.
Now there's our ending.
course.
There's our ending. Thanks, pal.
of course. That was so much fun, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
I really spilled the beans on a lot of stuff. Use it all.
That's right.
Yeah.